The most dangerous day in your life is the day that you're born. And if you become a mother, the second most dangerous day in your life will be the day that you give birth. 9 years ago, my wife and I read books and joined courses to be prepared for birth. And when the day came, we drove to the hospital after packing out things. After registering, I went out to park the car since I had parked just outside the entrance. And in my head, I prepared for a long and tough day. I came back into a room full of people and full of stress. My wife was in a bed and she was rushed out of the room as I entered. For a brief moment, they thought they had lost the baby's heart sound. I sat behind as confused and worried as I have ever been. And after what felt like a long time, my daughter was brought to my arms. Not long after, my wife awoke from anesthesia, and they were both absolutely fine. The health worker surely saved the life of our daughter that day. And many of us will know of similar stories where life has been totally dependent on professional support at day of birth. Too often, this support is not available. In low-resource settings, 1 in 3 women will go through all a pregnancy without any contact with the health system, and give birth without skilled support. The result is that 280,000 mothers and 3 million babies die from causes that are preventable. This is not acceptable, and there is a desperate need to train health workers to support life at birth, and the need is urgent. Laerdal Global Health is a non-profit company with a big goal. In my design team, we aim to create tools that can help train and equip more than 1 million birth attendants within 2020 so that they again can save 400,000 lives per year. Isn't that a tough goal? Let me tell you why we think it's realistic and how we work to get there. Laerdal has been a pioneer for medical simulation through the last 60 years. And simulation is about imitating situations to prepare and learn for the real thing. Traditionally, medical simulation has been seen like a technology, high-cost technology, that requires sophisticated equipment and dedicated staff. But simulation is not a technology. Simulation is a methodology for learning by doing. And it is powerful. It engages your mind and it engages your heart. Let me give you one example. Can you learn to dance from reading about the steps? It helps to practice, doesn't it? And working in healthcare is very much like dancing. You have to know your steps and you have to relate to your partners. When we wanted to make simulation affordable and available where it's needed the most, we had to start from scratch. There is no way we could get to a solution by simplifying high-tech simulators. And let me show you. This is the birthing simulator, Mama Nathalie. Our starting point was a question. How can Laerdal help save lives of mothers at day of birth? The main maternal killer at day of birth is excessive bleedings, so we started working on a tool to help health workers prepare to manage bleedings after birth.
The strength of the Mama Nathalie collection in terms of design is its simplicity.
Oh, there's a woman in labor. Will somebody help? Help!
It's essentially a backpack, and then it's got all the components inside, the uterus, the placenta, and an unborn baby. So it can be as dynamic and dramatic as you want it to be.
What we're trying to do through our training program is improve the skills of the providers, the doctors, nurses, and midwives, to do deliveries, to handle complications.
Oh no, she's bleeding.
So at the end of every training, we are able to tell that this provider is ready to provide newborn resuscitation to any baby now.
Design should make an impact with the society. It should solve real problems, and that will be useful to the world.
In this video, you saw 2 of my good colleagues from India talk about Mama Nathalie. We develop our solutions through building prototypes, and we share our questions and ideas early and often. After the initial exploration where we define the need, we start building, and then we share it with users and experts and assess what we learned, and then we update our analysis if needed, and then we build something better. Then we take these new things out to users and experts, assess what we've learned, update our analysis, and make something better. And so it goes. During the early phases, we build to understand. Have we found the right need? Do we understand the need in a good way? Later, we build to refine a solution that we are confident with. During the development of Mama Nathalie, we had 11 iterations like this. When you work with birth over time, your work environment turns into a quite special place. So I don't know how many of you have a leftover box like this one. With all of these iterations, we got in touch with users and experts. And during one of the field tests, we went to the town of Mekele in northern Ethiopia, and we spent a week with this group of midwives and birth attendants at the training that they had. In front of the visit, we had worked extensively with ensuring a good fit between Mama Nathalie and the body of the person wearing Mama Nathalie. And we thought we had a quite promising prototype with us. And then we came to the training, and we realized that all of these participants are wearing skirts. And at that point in time, Mama Nathalie was much more jeans-friendly than skirt-friendly. And we realized this has to change. And you might think that this is a very obvious thing, and I think I agree with you. But it's just an example of things that you easily capture if you stay close to your users. On the same trip, we met with a very young midwife, and she had recently had a very tough experience with a breech delivery. A breech delivery is when the baby is presented with the butt first instead of the head, as normal. And it is not necessarily a very complicated situation, but you need to know how to manage it. The young midwife had been alone, and she was very uncertain on what to do. We did a simulation with her on breech delivery, and I could see how she re-experienced all the anxiety and tension that she had felt. She started to sweat, and she got very emotional. We did a simulation again, and then a third time, and I could see with every simulation how her confidence grew. I am convinced that after this very short training session, she was much better prepared to face a similar scenario in the future. And for me, I think this was the moment where I truly understood the power of simulation for learning. Today, Mama Nathalie is the key learning tool in an educational program focused on managing bleedings after birth. And the program has been introduced in 40 countries so far. It is also a preferred learning tool in many high-resource organizations. And at our local hospital in Stavanger, they use Mama Nathalie for the yearly team training involving all midwives and all doctors. After initiating simulation training with Mama Nathalie, the need for blood transfusions at labor ward has been reduced drastically. So researchers are now exploring alternative explanations, but the hypothesis that the reason is linked to simulation training with Mama Nathalie is growing stronger. Before Mama Nathalie, Laerdal had been a key partner in the development of the educational program Helping Babies Breathe. 1 in 10 babies need help to start breathing after birth. And this is the same wherever you are born. And this simple help that so many babies need can be as simple as rubbing the back of the baby like this, which is actually the most efficient thing. It will save most lives. Or it can be to breathe for the baby with a bag and mask. So far, 220,000 people have been trained in 73 countries. And recent research from Tanzania covering 80,000 births in 8 different hospitals shows that early newborn mortality has been reduced with as much as 47% after the introduction of the Helping Babies Breathe program. So these products and these programs have a tremendous potential to help save lives. And it is all brought to people through collaborative innovation and strong global partnerships. I mentioned earlier that we always get in touch with users and experts to seek their guidance. But why is this important? Let me give you 3 reasons. We have to get close to the people that we're innovating for. We should also always remember that an honest opinion is a sign of trust, and it needs to be earned. This is why we value long-term relations and also why we have established a development team in India. Second, assumptions are dangerous. We are all very often wrong in our assumptions, and they need to be checked. And third, to do more and to move quicker. We are about 20 people in our team, located in Norway, Tanzania, and India. By connecting with people and organizations who share the same goals, we can do so much more. We multiply the power of our team. And I can tell you that creating ideas is easy. Making them happen is hard. A design is not finished until somebody is using it. I have very little belief in ideas created in secret ways inside a bubble by individuals or groups of similar-minded people. Very often such solutions end up in presentations with great visuals and strong arguments, but without the true chance of gaining the energy that is needed to reach into people's life. When we were developing Mama Nathalie, our partners were developing the educational program as we were tightening the last screws on the product. Many people helped spread the word about this new birthing simulator all over the world, long before the product was launched. And all of the people got involved because they had real ownership to the solution. We often experience that our partners introduce the solutions that we offer as their solutions. And we love it when that happens. In school, many design students and engineering students will learn that they should keep their cards really tight to the chest and make sure to have a patent in place before they share. We are not so concerned about sharing our secrets. We have learned that we gain so much through sharing that it by far outweighs the risk of losing intellectual property. It also enables us to build relations on trust rather than contracts. And it provides the precious opportunity of failing early. And failing early rather than late can save a lot of time and a lot of money. So let me summarize our product development process in 2 words. It's build and it's share. And I will argue that how you develop your solutions is often just as important as what you develop. Midwives and other health workers who work out there to save lives at birth are my heroes. They work with a tremendous courage and calm in some of the most challenging situations I can think of, often in very tough conditions. We see ourselves as a support team with a mission to help these everyday heroes out there to save lives. Our job is to provide our heroes with the best possible tools. And in our most recent partnership, we have teamed up with the pediatric associations of India, Nigeria, and Ethiopia with the goal to help 100,000 more babies survive and thrive. This partnership also has other under members, like the US government, the government of Norway, and the Gates Foundation. And if we and our partners succeed in this goal, it will mean to turn 100,000 sad stories into 100,000 happy stories. And collaboration makes that happen. Thank you.